It's a battle. It is a fight that we all face this time of year. Unwanted weeds can all too quickly take over. They move in, they settle in, and they take over the yard. From your lawn to your flower beds, my first guest is here today with strategies to help you win the war on weeds. Jerry Goodspeed with USU Botanical Gardens is our friend and our teacher, and I apologize we haven't had our usual pre-show chit-chat. Jerry overheard me saying, validate me, the most diva thing you've ever heard me say.
Well, okay.
I was like, I'm not coming out to the plaza until we're ready to go. It's kind of hot.
That, yes.
It's kind of hot. I'm kind of pregnant. I was like, I love Jerry. I'd love to shoot the breeze with Jerry, but there's no breeze. It's just all heat.
That is true.
So I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
I skirted out here last minute, but we're going to sweat it out together.
We are.
And we've got a good purpose. It seems like weeds are easy to control or easier to control at the beginning of summer. Why is that?
Well, first off, it's cooler.
Thank you. Back to that breeze.
Yes. The other thing I think is that they're usually small. We have some energy from the winter. We want to get out. We want to start working. And then it hits 100 degrees.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, they're just weeds.
Yeah, right. They can just
And then
hang
pretty
out.
soon, they overtake. And you still got to keep on it, even though it's warm, hot.
Yes.
You've still got to be diligent in getting out there and controlling the weeds.
Is it worth asking what defines a weed? I mean, what are we really putting our energy and attention toward?
Defined, a weed is a plant out of place.
A plant
Although
out of place.
I'm going to tell you, some plants have no place. So, we have a number of those weeds that I classify as that's not a plant out of place. That is a weed.
Get out of there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You've got several tips to control these pesky plants. We're going to start with the lawn. You say watering deserves a place in this conversation?
It does. Normally if we're watering it deeper, we're trying to create an environment that's perfect for grass and not perfect for weeds.
Yeah.
And so the deeper we can get the water, most of our weeds are very shallow rooted. Not all of them, but most of them are, especially the annual weeds. So if you're watering deep and letting the top dry out a little bit and getting deep grass roots, that will help.
So is that less watering but longer? Or
yes.
Okay, all right.
Exactly.
And then you say we can adjust the height on our mower.
The taller your mower is, the better it's going to be, because then if you cut it too short, it gets the sunlight into the soil. Weeds are more apt to germinate, whereas if you let it grow about 2.5 to 3 inches, which is about as high as most mowers will go, right to the top, it creates a healthier lawn, it thickens up better, and it helps shade out some of the seeds so they don't germinate.
So now's a good time to do that.
Yeah.
Those are principles, those are techniques. What about products and tools?
So products that are pre-emergents that a lot of people use. They're good for annual weeds and I brought a couple of examples here, like the spurge and the crabgrass.
Oh, you brought us weeds.
For everybody, I'm going to share.
Okay.
You can take them home.
How nice of you.
Yeah, I know, I shouldn't have, but spurge has a little spot on it, and this is these are annuals, and they normally have shallow roots. And they're the ones that most of your pre-emergents will control. And here's an example of a pre-emergent.
Yeah. Normally
we'll put that down twice a year, once the end of April-ish, and then again about the end of June-ish.
Okay.
And so if you apply the first application this April, now is the time to get down that second application.
Can that go in my flower beds too?
It can actually, and there are other pre-emergents. Here's another example of a pre-emergent for your flower beds and stuff, and yeah, you bet it can.
All right, what about a leaf killer? I actually was reading an article about those the other day.
So there are some organic products. Here's one of them that when you spray it on the plant, it kills the leaves basically.
Yeah.
And it's an organic control, which a lot of people are in favor of.
They like that. Do you like that?
For certain weeds, yeah.
Certain weeds. So is knowing your weed part of this party, part of this science?
It is, in my opinion. If you know if it's an annual or a perennial. Annual comes back every year, shallow roots, pretty easy to control.
Okay.
Perennial, like your field bindweed or morning glory.
Dukes up.
Yeah. Now we're going to have to apply something like a glyphosate type of a product.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let's move on to flower beds. Mulches, you say, good place to start?
That's the best place to start. Get your flowers in, get them planted, and then put down a good mulch.
Okay.
This is soil pep. There are other mulches out there that I like, but this is one of the nice ones. Put it on at least 1 inch to 2 inches thick, and that will reduce the amount of annual weeds you're going to get.
Should how we plant our flower beds or shape our flower beds factor into this?
The one thing I'll tell you is that when you do a flower bed, do it thick.
Okay.
So that the plants just
take over.
Oh, yes,
It's an
as
illusion.
opposed to the weeds.
There are no weeds to see
Yes,
here.
that's
It's
right.
all blooming flowers or plants.
Yeah. They're supposed to be there. Then they're not a weed. So yeah, just plant it as thick as you can because then the plants become a natural mulch, a natural cover.
Listen, this game is
Yeah.
part horticulture, part gardening, part magician. You are all of those things.
It's a lot of that.
You are all of those
yeah.
things. Regular hand weeding, there's no way around it. I actually like it.
You know what? Do it in the morning or in the evening.
Is that weird?
obviously.
I love pulling weeds.
No, there's a lot. It's therapeutic. It really
Yeah.
is, and it's getting back. It's see, my hands are a little bit dirty, so
Yeah.
it's getting back to nature, and just the feel of the soil for me is really therapeutic. Yeah.
All right, we've got a minute left. While we've got you, we love to squeeze as much expert advice out of you as we can. So general advice for the garden this time of year. You told my producer it's a good time to consider planting raised beds.
Yeah, well, that's
All
anytime.
year, any year,
Raised
anytime.
beds are really good. And I'm getting to the age where I don't want to bend all the way
Yeah.
over to weeds, so raised beds are really good that way. It also adds good drainage to your plants. Your plants tend to do better. It's easier to maintain. It's easier to weed.
So consider that in general.
Yeah.
You like paper, straw, cardboard, those natural mulches?
In the garden, I do, yeah,
Okay.
because they'll slowly break down. We've put the cardboard right in the rows,
Yeah.
so that we don't have any weeds and we can walk on it. And by the end of the year, it's pretty well broke down, and then we just till it in, and it's
Okay.
a natural product.
All right, Jerry, thank you so much.
That's my pleasure.
Helping us win the war on weeds. And next time if you come back and it's 10 degrees cooler, I promise you'll see me more than 30 seconds before we go.
I'll see what I can do with the weather.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, call our friend Kevin, see what you can do.
Okay.
Where can we get more advice from you?
USU Extension's website will have a lot of all the advice you need.
It's
everything.
a great resource, and I'm sure you have great fall classes coming up too.
We do at the gardens.
At the gardens,
Yep,
yeah,
we do.
cool. All right, Jerry, thank you. We'll link you over from our website.